lesson that you will get at the end of this. So, Sharanagati to Parashurama was a failure because he was not fit to be surrendered to, though he may be an empowered incarnation. Okay, so now they got married, Sita, Ram, and of course their siblings also got married. Everybody, they went to Ayodhya and they were living a very happy life. They lived together for many, many years. Balya Leela of Rama is very minimum in Valmiki Ramayana. Much Leelas like Krishna. Krishna is a loving boy. He did so many sweet Leelas. He much Balya Leela. Anyway, Lord Ramachandra was now 24 years old and Dasharath was getting very old. So Dasharath was looking at himself in the mirror and he was thinking, oh, I'm getting so much grey hair, I've become so old. Now I have to crown my son. He was thinking like that. And at that time, you all know the very sad story that Kaikeyi asked for boons. She was brainwashed by Manthara and she asks for 2 boons. By 1 boon, she wanted her son Bharata to become the king, and by the other boon, she wanted Lord Rama to go to the forest, and that is what she desired. And you know, of course, she had to tell this to Dasharath. Dasharath swooned, and finally she herself told this to Lord Ramachandra, and she told him, you go to the forest. So, Lord Ramachandra, first he goes to his mother Kausalya, and he tells Mother Kausalya that, see, I have been asked to go to the forest. It is the wish of my father, Dasharath. Kausalya says, you're a little child. I mean, for a mother, even if the child is 24 years old, still the child is a child, right? How can you go to the forest? You will be suffering there so much. I will come with you. I will come and cook for you there. But then Lord Rama says, no, it is your dharma to stay with your husband and serve him. That is your dharma. You please continue that and I will go to the forest. From Kausalya's palace, he goes to Sita Devi's palace. Now this is the Patni, wife. So he goes to Sita Devi's palace and he tells her that I have been ordered to go to the forest. And at that time, he tells Sita, Sita, you are a gentle princess. It will be very difficult, for you to be in separation from me, but still, you stay back at home, you serve my parents very nicely, they will take very good care of you, I'm going to the forest. But Sita, the strong woman that she was, she said, nothing doing. You just advised your mother that the wife always stays with the husband. Now what about me? Even I am going to come with you. And in fact, Sita was such a strong woman, she said, I will walk before you, crushing all the thorns so that the path may be made clear for you to walk on. So she was like that. She said, there is no way that you are going without me. Wherever it is, whether it is Ayodhya or it is the forest, I will always be with you, and that is the place fit for me. So Sita Devi says that, but Ramachandra goes on, he says, see, you're a delicate princess. Your life is not meant to suffer in the forest. And it is not just 1 or 2 days, sometimes we like to go and camp. We like camping trips, maybe 3 days, 4 days, and then we are irritated. We are like, I just want to go home, sleep on my bed, and then have prasadam that is cooked and offered to my deity. You get so irritated after 2-3 days. But this is 14 years, Lord Rama said. Think about it, it's 14 years, it's not really worth it. So just stay back, and I will come back soon. You can be engaged in beautiful services here, you think about me, and I will come back soon. But Sita Devi said no. She said no, it is not possible. And she was going back and forth. She said it was predicted when I was a child that I will be living in the forest for many years. Some astrologers had come to my father's palace and they told me that I am meant to be living in the forest for a few years. So I'm mentally prepared. I will come. From childhood I've been trained that I will go to the forest someday. So she does various things, but Lord Ramachandra doesn't agree. Then finally, she knows how to control her husband. She said something very interesting. She said, Rama Jamataram Prapya Striyam Purusha Vigraham. That means, my father Janaka has obtained a son-in-law who's a woman dressed as a man. She says that, yes, we all go and fight for Sita. Oh, Sita was tortured, such a fragile woman, and she had to go through so much. Believe me, she was very strong. She knew to stand up for herself. Yes, it was a choice she made. Whether be it entering fire or later events in the Uttarakhanda, she accepted it with grace. And she took it in a very dignified manner. She never let down her husband at any point in time, but she also knew how to talk for herself. Okay, she said this, and Ramachandra didn't have any answer for this, so he had to take he had to take Mother Sita with him. So this was very beautiful glories of Sita Devi. Actually, that's why Valmiki, he doesn't say that this is just Ramayanam. He says this is Sitaya's Charitam Mahat. This is the glory of Sita, and if you see the Ramayana also, most of the description of the Ramayana is only till the time Sita Devi is there. After Sita Devi goes into earth, there is not much story. Though Ramachandra lived for 11,000 years, such a long time, right? But only the focus was when Sita was there. So Sita is a very prominent character. Now, when Sita and Ram were discussing like this, and Sita told very strongly, I am coming with you, Lakshmana had just entered. So, Evam Shrutva tu Samvadam Lakshmana Purvamagataha. He came and he heard half of the conversation. Okay, Purvamagata means he came earlier itself. And he heard this very strong conversation, and he understood Mother Sita is going to the forest with Ram. So what did he do? He went there and he fell at the lotus feet of Lord Rama. Sa Bhratu Sharanau Ghadam Nipitya Raghunandana. He goes and he catches very tightly the feet of his brother Rama, who's standing along with Sita. So when you do Sharanagati, you should always do Sita Rama, Radha Krishna, Lakshmi Narayan, like that Sharanagati must be done. Without the consort of the Lord, doing Sharanagati is fine, not that you should not do, but the consort of the Lord will always recommend us. Be assured that without the mercy of the internal potency of the Lord's heart will not melt so easily. So she is the one who recommends us. You know, we have so many faults. And Krishna, he tells, what so many faults you have. And now you're coming, you'll come and surrender. You know, you're telling like that and I have to accept you. He might think like that. But Srimati Radharani is so compassionate. She says, who doesn't have fault in this world? Everybody is handpicked with faults. Honeycombed with faults, Honeycombed with faults. So just accept him or accept her. And Krishna is more than happy to accept us. So this is first class surrender. Holding the lotus feet of the Lord in the presence of the internal potency of the Lord, you are granted, you are assured protection. So that is what happened to Rama. That is what happened to Lakshmana. Lakshmana said, Aham sarvam karishyami. I will do everything. Jagrataha swapatascha. That means whether I am awake or I am sleeping, whatever the situation may be, whether you are awake or sleeping, I will be constantly awake trying to serve you. I will do everything. I will collect firewood from the forest. I will cook for you. I will build nice residences for you in the forest. I will fetch water. I will do all the services. So please take me. He was asking, I will surrender to you. In return, you know what I want? I want you to grant me the boon of service. I want to do service. So he surrendered so that he could serve. That was the phala, or that was the fruit he was asking for. And Sita Devi was also watching and indicating to Lord Ram. He says, Aham sarvam karishyami, he'll do everything, take him. No, that was just a joke, but still, Lord Ramachandra was very happy. Ramachandra was very, very happy that he wants to do service. So Rama said, yes, please come. Till then he was resisting. He was telling Lakshmana so many reasons. No, our parents are getting old, you have to stay back. And he told so many stories about why it is important for Lakshman to stay back. He said, if I go away and you're not there, who will take care of our parents? Who will take care of Mother Kausalya? Who will take care of Mother Sumitra? So he went on giving different reasons. But then when he said, I only desire to do service, Ram was so happy to grant him service. Because that is what every devotee is aspiring for. We all want service to the Lord. That is all we are asking from the Lord, right? So Lord Ramachandra, he granted this desire of Lakshmana, and Lakshmana also joined Rama and Sita. So this was Sharanagati number 5. Sharanagati number 5 was a 6, huh? Oh, okay, success. Okay, it was a grand success. One of the best Sharanagatis. Why? Because it has the Lakshana of, when you surrender Sita Ram, both of them should be there. And what should you ask from the surrender? You should ask Kainkarya. Kainkarya means service. So you should ask for service. First class Sharanagati was by Lakshman. Then, and initially bark was presented even to Mother Sita. And it was very awkward. She had such a delicate body, she had to wear bark. And then later, of course, Dasharath goes and pleads to Kaikeyi. He says that the boon that you have asked for is that Rama should go to the forest. Don't torture our daughter-in-law like that. And then later, she actually, according to the commentary, she wears a sari and only go. She doesn't go in forest bark. Okay, but Rama is dressed in bark. Both Rama and Lakshmana, they go to the forest. Okay. Now they go to the forest. They meet Guha. From there, they go to Bharadwaj ashram. They go to Chitrakoot. The news. Bharata is actually called back to Ayodhya, and he comes. He sees Mother Kaikeyi, and he asks Kaikeyi, why is everybody so morose? Where is father? And Kaikeyi, very, very, he's gone to the place where everybody goes one day, which means he died. So she says like that, and Bharata feels, and why Rama and Sita are not here. And then finally he figures it out that because of Kaikeyi's boons, Rama, Sita and Lakshmana have gone to the forest. He feels very bad. He thinks, oh, is it all because of me? He blames himself. And he's thinking, I was not even a part of the scheme. I was somewhere away. And I didn't even intend that my brother should go to the forest. I've never had a desire to get this kingdom. Why this terrible? It's in fact a curse on me. So he was thinking like that. And he decided to gather his entire army along with the mothers. He took everybody, along with Sage Vashishta, along with everybody, Jabali, and then Vamadeva, like that. There were different ministers in the court. He took everybody, he gathered an army, and he decided whatever it may happen, I will go to the forest and I will bring back my brother. So with everybody, he marched towards the forest. And finally, he came to the place where Lord Ramachandra and Sita Devi were stationed. So, now Bharata and Lord Ramachandra, they begin to converse. So, Bharata, he keeps telling Lord Ramachandra that actually, you should not be living in this forest. I was not involved when this decision was taken. You are the elder son of the Ikshvaku dynasty. The tradition in the Ikshvaku dynasty is always that the elder son is crowned. It is not that the younger son or the third son or the fourth son is crowned. The tradition is that the oldest son is always the one who gets crowned. So you have to come back to the kingdom. You cannot stay here. But then Rama says, see, I have already started this journey. Secondly, Mother Kaikeyi was not wrong. Mother Kaikeyi has actually done us all a favor. She has even done Dasharath Maharaj a favor. Why? Because before all these happened itself, much before the sons were born, when Kaikeyi was given in hand to Dasharath, at that time there is a promise that is made by Dasharath that Kaikeyi's son would become the king. So in fact, Mother Kaikeyi has done us a favor. She has helped Dasharath to keep up his word. Dasharath wanted to crown me. My father wanted to crown me. It would have become a big sin. So actually we have all been saved. It is the right thing that I came to the forest. Then Bharata says, okay, now if you consider that I am the king, Dasharath has kept up his word and I become the king. Now that I am the king of Ayodhya, it is my desire and order that you come back to the kingdom and you take up the kingdom. I will give you the kingdom and I will go to the forest. See, very, very intelligent arguments. The arguments alone in the Ramayana between Bharata and Rama, they go on for like 4 or 5 chapters of arguments, and we are trying to condense everything here. But anyway, so then Ramachandra says, see, that is not at all logical, because I have already started the journey. I have come, all the way to Chitrakoot. So it is not fair to say, I will do half the journey, then from Chitrakoot onwards you go on. You go on Vanavas. It doesn't work like that. Since I have started, I have to complete it and then only come. Then he says, you don't have to go to Vanavas. Instead, I can start from the beginning. I will start all over again. So then Ramachandra says, it's not like that. I have been given the order. So I should do it, not you. You cannot be a substitute for me. If I have to go to a conference and make the presentation, maybe I have to go to California, for example. I'm just giving some random example. I have to go to California to make a presentation. Now, I have been given the order by the boss. I have been given the PowerPoint deck and this and that. I have everything. I can't say, I have to start. I have the ticket on my name. I cannot ask somebody else to travel in my name, in my ticket, and go and do the presentation. That's not fair, right? So like that, Rama, he argues and he says, it cannot be done like that. And he stands very, very firm in the decision that he has taken because his father and mother have given him the order. Pitravakya Paripalana. Right? Ramachandra is known for following the orders of his parents, of his superiors. So like this, he goes on arguing, and finally Bharata, he just falls down at the feet of Lord Ram, begging him for something that will appease him, so that even if he has to go back to the kingdom, he can survive in separation from the Supreme Lord Ramachandra. So here is the verse. Iti yuktvanyapadadbratuhu padayorbharatattada brisham sampraptayamasa ramam evam priyam vada. So what does he do? He goes and he falls at the feet of Rama and he says, just, somehow find a way that this problem can be resolved. He catches on to his feet. And that is when the Padukas are presented. Lord Rama, he steps on the Padukas and he gets down and he gives these Padukas to Bharata so that the Padukas can actually go with Bharata. They can help Bharata bear the separation from Lord Rama. Bharata wouldn't go if something greater than Rama was given to him. The Padukas are considered greater than Lord Rama because everybody is hankering after the lotus feet of the Lord, and the Padukas have the great fortune of always residing at the lotus feet of the Lord. They're considered very, very special. The Acharyas say something that is sweeter than having Lord Rama next to you is just having those Padukas with you. So with lot of love, he gives that Padukas and Bharata carries it over his head. And these Padukas are the ones who protect the journey of Bharata back. He doesn't go to Ayodhya, he's stationed in Nandigram, and he makes the Padukas sit on the throne, indicating that Lord Ramachandra will rule on behalf of him. So he places the Padukas. Padukas had a glorious rule. In fact, there are so many people who ruled Ayodhya at that time. Dasharatha's rule, there was a problem. Kaikeyi asked a boon and some unfair things happened. Rama was sent to the forest. So some problem in Dasharatha's rule. Was there a problem in Lord Ramachandra's rule? Yes, there was a problem. This washerman said something and Mother Sita had to go to the forest. But who had the best rule? No issues, no complaints. It was Paduka Devi. She gave the best rule. Everybody, all the citizens in Ayodhya were very, very happy. Okay? So Paduka is considered Devi because you see the shape of a Paduka, it's like a woman. So she's Devi, and also Akara, Paduka, it becomes a woman. So she's Devi. Just like how we have Tulasi Devi, Bhakti Devi, like that Paduka Devi. So she is actually, in fact, the one who satisfied the Lord the most. So when the Lord gave instructions to Lakshmana, stay back, Lakshmana came with him. He didn't listen to the Lord. When he told Bharata, go back, Bharata started arguing with the Lord. The only person who was happy with anything the Lord did was Paduka. She didn't object to anything. So she's considered the best among all these devotees. And also, she just sat on the throne. It is Ram's order, I will sit on the throne. So like that, she ruled very nicely. Bharata was given many benefits out of this. But my question to all of you is, was Bharata's surrender a success or a failure?
Success.
Nobody wants to say failure.
Surrendered.
Why? Why success?
Ram did not listen to him.
He didn't go back with him, right? Yeah. Failure.
But Bharata ruled in the name of Lord Ram, who
the ruler.
Correct.
And he just was a servant of Lord Ram. So it becomes a success.
Yes. Failure is also right, success is also right. If we think that success means Rama should go immediately, then it's a failure. If we think Rama had gone in the form of the Padakas, it's a success. So Ram going to Ayodhya may have been delayed, but it was not denied in one sense. Okay, because he went late. Now a question, I know the answer is neither failure nor success, or you can say both failure and success, or you can say delayed but not denied. Any of these answers are correct as far as Bharata's Sharanagati is concerned. But my question is, why? When somebody is surrendering to you, immediately it should be granted. He is the Supreme Lord, he can fulfill anyone's desire. But why did it get delayed? Why did he not go immediately after Sharanagati?
Because somebody is Sharanagati, like because he went to the forest because of that
Yes.
Sharanagati region, that one. The bone was the Dasharatha has given to KK.
Yeah, correct. You're right in one sense, yes. And
Maybe
also to add to your point, the logic is correct, okay?
He want to keep their promise. Maybe.
Yes, it was a promise that he had to keep up, yes, correct, Prabhu. And the logic is correct, okay? So he had already given a word earlier, so he had to go, that is correct. But as far as you equate only the Sharanagatis, besides the promise and the vow, the demigods had already surrendered, okay? And why did they surrender to the Supreme Lord? Because the Supreme Lord would incarnate and kill Ravana. Now the Supreme Lord had already gone to the forest. Why is he going? He's going to kill Karadoshan, and then he's going to cross over Lanka, and then he's going to go and kill Ravana. The first Sharanagati was already granted by them, okay? It was already granted. It was in progress. So somebody comes and when the download is in progress, you come in between and then you interrupt it. It doesn't work. So the whole thing is complete, and then after it is complete, he's definitely going to go. He's going to remember. Like yesterday we saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He remembered. In Madhya Leela itself, so many people surrendered. He remembers in Antya Leela after many years, and he fulfills their desires. And then eventually, our Lord, and of course the promise too, that also makes sense. Because he wanted to fulfill the promise of his parents, he had to go. Father and stepmother. So that is also true. So delayed but not denied. Delayed because of a conflict with the first Sharanagati that had happened. Now Lord Ramachandra. Sage Sharanagati, yeah, it's okay. Okay. Look at the slide. Yeah, I said delayed but not denied. But answer is yeah, but the answer is yes and no. Both are answers. Okay. And the reason why it was delayed is because of previous Sharanagati and also the promise, like you all said. Okay, good. Now Lord Ramachandra, he goes on in his sojourn to the forest, and over a period of time, he's not very happy staying in Chitrakoot because he had these memories of Bharata coming, his parents, his mother's coming. He was very disturbed, and he told Sita, I think we should move on. So they move from Chitrakoot and they move on. Their desire is to move on to Nasik Panchavati eventually. So when they enter the dense regions of the forest, the Aranya kind of begins. So Sita, Ram, Lakshman, they walk and they move towards the next region, Panchavati, I think that is where they go next. Started walking inside. At that time, many sages, they spotted Lord Rama. They, of course, all these sages, they knew the greatness of Lord Rama. We also hear in our Gaudiya Vaishnava literatures, entered unto Lord Rama, and they had a desire to have Lord Rama as their consort, as their husband, right? So they, next birth, they become gopis. We have heard the story. So these are the sages in Dandakaranya. So the sages in Dandakaranya, they go and approach Rama. When they see Rama, there are many huts. Very beautiful description in Aranyakanda of how the forest is, how these sages were located. They all heard about the glories of Rama, and they go just for some interaction. Devayam bhavata rakshya bhavat vishayavasina nagarasto vanasto va tvam no raja janeshwara. So the sages said, said, Nagarasto Vanastova. Whether you are in the Nagara, whether you are in Ayodhya, or you are in the forest, whatever the situation may be, you are our Raja. You are our king. So you have to give us protection. You alone are capable of giving us protection. Why they wanted protection, these sages? These sages, as you all know, in the forest, what do? They perform sacrifices. Who are the ones who disturb the sages while performing sacrifices? Demoniac elements. And specifically, they had problem with Kara, Dushana, Trishiras and 14,000 other demons who were living in the forest. So these 14,000 demons, they would be a constant problem when the great sages would perform sacrifices. So the sages surrendered and they sought protection. They said, you are our Raja, you're the king, you're the emperor. Whether you're in the forest or whether you are in Ayodhya, you alone can protect us. So ensure that you protect us. So this was the next Sharanagati that happened. Now that the Sharanagati had happened, immediately Ram did not act on the Sharanagati. Okay? So he was spending some time in the forest with Sita very happily. One day, Sita saw Lord Rama and she said, why are you carrying this bow with you all the time? See, we are in the forest and we are surrounded by sages who are very peaceful. So why don't you keep that bow away? Don't carry it all the time. Put it down and enjoy the beauty of the forest. So what do you think? Did Sita really mean this?
No.
See, no, yes. The sages had done Sharanagati. She was actually telling indirectly, what are you doing? She actually tells Rama. Again, commentators explain this, okay? So, then Rama, it was time for him to act. Actually, at that time, Rama says, though she said this indirectly, a direct answer to that. Why are you, holding this, keep it down? Rama says, no, I will always keep it because my duty is to give protection. Even if it is, I can forfeit my life. If I have to give up my life also, I will give it up. Even if I have to give up my dear brother Lakshman, who's always with me, I will do it. Even if I have to forsake you, Sita, I will. But I will never give up on my promise that too I have made to Brahmanas and sages. And that is true also. It happens in the Ramayana. He has to be separated from Sita. He eventually, last few days, one day, and then initially before Lakshmana was born, he was in 2-3 days he was separated from Lakshmana. But his promise to the devotees, that is something he holds throughout his life, right? So that is the greatness of the Lord. What is the statement that he makes here is very, very true. So he says, I will never give up on my service to the Vaishnavas, basically. Vishnu never gives up service to Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas never give up service to Vishnu. So it is both ways. Then our favorite character, my favorite character in the Ramayana, our heroine, Shurpanaka Shurpanaka enters and she is love struck. And she sees Rama and she falls in love with him. He's so handsome, she falls in love with him and she says, okay, come on, what are you doing in the forest? Let's enjoy, let's fly in the sky and enjoy. So she calls him. And then Rama, there's a lot of hasya rasa in this section of the Ramayana. So there is a lot of comedy that's happening. And Rama also, he's enjoying this part. He also makes fun. He says, hey, don't call me, I'm already married, I have a wife with me. But this man here, fair and handsome, this Lakshmana, you can take him, he's alone. So actually, one may say, oh, Rama never speaks false. How can he say that Lakshmana was not married? The point is, according to Sanskrit grammar, at that point in time, he was alone. That's what Ramachandra meant. At this point in time, he's alone, so you can enjoy his company. But Lakshmana was saying, as it is, I'm serving here. I'm a servant. I am washing vessels. You also have to become the servant of the servant. Why do you want this life? So then they keep, playing with her, and eventually she gets very upset. She thinks the reason why these two men are avoiding me is because of this woman who's standing here, and she's a Rakshasi, right? So she decides to pounce on Sita and eat her up. He says, this ugly woman who is here, she is ugly. She's telling Sita is ugly. She says, you are avoiding me because of the ugly woman who is here. I will pounce on her and I will eat her up now. And then we all can enjoy. So she has has a grand plan, and at this point, he indicates to Lakshman, this is enough. And then Lakshman, he goes and he chops off her nose and ears. And she goes running, and she first complains to Karadoshan because they were nearby, her cousins, step brothers, you can say.
Correct.
So she goes and she complains to Karadoshan, and she tells them that there are two men here. But when she complains also, she says, they look very handsome. All this affectionate indications are there, but still she has a complaint saying that because of them, my nose and ears are gone, you should go and fight with them. So, Karadoshan, along with the 14,000 soldiers, they come, and in 1.5 muhurta, there was one Rama, 14,000 demons. In 1.5 muhurta, it appeared that one Rama was 14,000. That means in such a swift manner, like you have seen these firebrand performers, that very swift, one firebrand, it will be like going in circles, right? Like that, Lord Rama was one, but he was fighting single-handedly, simultaneously with 14,000 soldiers, demoniac soldiers, and he finished all of them in 1.5 muhurtas except one person. Rama had this habit wherever he went. So remember, when he went for training with Vishwamitra, he killed Tataka and Subahu, he left Maricha. Maricha went and he fell several meters away, and finally this Maricha comes back as the golden deer. He always has the habit of leaving one person. Same thing, here also he leaves one person, Akampana. And the reason he left Akampana was, again, commentary, is that Akampana came in a sari. So he wore the sari and he came like a woman because he wanted to escape. And so he left Akampana so that Akampana can go and report to Ravana. And Ravana can come. So everything is pre-planned. Our Lord has some plan for everybody and he always leaves one person. So that the storyline can continue. So there's Akampana, he goes and he reports matter. And of course Shurpanaka also goes and she also starts crying. And she wants to somehow entice Ravana that this Sita is very beautiful, she's meant for you. So that Ravana can lust after her and come, and that way Ravana and Ram can fight, and she thought finally these two brothers can be defeated by Ravana. That was her plan. Also there are other commentaries that say, of course her husband, the Surpanaka was actually a widow at that point in time. Her husband was killed by Ravana, unfortunately. And it was also a way for her to get back at Ravana. These are some explanations and commentaries, okay? So anyway, as the story follows, the magic deer comes, Sita is allured, and then Maricha screams, Rama, hey Sita, hey Lakshmane, and he falls down, and then Ravana comes, he carries away Sita, Jatayu fights, you all know the story, and it goes on, but we have to talk about the Sharanagati. Now, the sages, they surrendered, correct? Sharanagati of success? Yes, 14,000 demons were killed. So it was a beautiful, sweet success because Sita also had a role. Sita kept constant reminder, you have these alarms, you keep doing reminders, someone has to do it for you sometimes. Like wives go and wake up husbands, husbands go and wake up wife, like that the wife had to constantly remind the Lord, don't forget, you have given abhayam to them, you better take care of them. So Sita also had a sweet role. Now Sita was kidnapped and she was taken to Lanka. Right? She was taken to Lanka, and Lord Ramachandra, he comes back after the deer episode. Rama and dear Sita is missing, and Ramachandra is completely bewildered, and he tells Lakshman, why did you leave her? And Lakshmana explains, no, she spoke such words that I had to leave her, otherwise very, very difficult. So they go and search, they go in different places in search of Sita Devi. At that time, they see a demon by the name Kabanda. And that demon, he was actually cursed to be in a very, he had a weird appearance. But finally the demon is killed and he's buried. But before that demon takes leave and he's liberated by Lord Rama, he tells that you should go further south towards Kishkinda. And in Kishkinda, there is a personality by the name Sugriva. He's a Vanara. He'll be of great help to you. And he will help you to retrieve your wife. Okay? So these leads were given by this particular demon. He was killed, he was buried, and then they proceed further and they go to Kishkinda. Now Kishkinda Kanta begins. So we'll do the two Sharanagatis, actually 3 Sharanagatis continuously with Sugriva, and then we'll stop for today. Okay? Another 10 minutes. 5-10 minutes? Okay. So Kishkinda Khanda, Ramachandra and Lakshmana, they enter Kishkinda. First they meet Shabari. Shabari Moksha Sakshi Bhuta. That means Lord Ramachandra was a Sakshi in Shabari Moksha. Did Rama give moksha to Shabari? Or Shabari got moksha because of something else?
Because of her guru.
Because of her guru, yes. Another important lesson in Shabari moksha is Ram didn't grant. Of course, finally he is the one who's going to give, he's Mukunda, he's the one who's going to give moksha. But she earned the moksha not because she saw Ram, because of her spiritual master. Service to the spiritual master. That's why it is mentioned he was Sakshi Bhuta. He was only a Sakshi, he was a witness to the liberation of Shabari. Okay? So Shabari gets delivered and then he moves forward and he goes to Rishyamukha Parvat. Rishyamukha Parvat, there Sugriva, when he sees these two nice Kshatriya-bodied men coming towards Rishyamukha Parvat, he gets very scared. So he tells Hanuman, looks like Vali has sent two people in disguise. We have to go test them. So he sends Hanuman in the guise of a Brahmana. And Hanuman goes down and he receives Rama and Lakshmana. And Hanuman, when you stand in front of the Supreme Lord, Paramatma, how can you lie? That to a person like Hanuman. He was supposed to say, I am a Brahmin here. But then he ends up introducing himself, I am a Vanara, I am the minister of Sugriva. It is natural because when you see the Supreme Lord, you cannot lie. That to a great devotee like Hanuman. His intention was to lie, but he doesn't lie. And Ram was watching all this very happily and he was praising to Lakshmana. He was telling Lakshmana, look at him. He speaks so well. He's so well-mannered. So he was so impressed with the qualities of Hanuman. And finally, they are taken to Sugriva for a meeting. And Ram tells a story that Sita has been kidnapped. Sugriva also tells a story that his wife Ruma was taken away by Vali and Vali had to be killed. At that time, he does a Sharanagati to Rama. But remember, there is something interesting Valmiki does. Valmiki, when he writes the Ramayana, he says that Rama also surrenders to Sugriva. But nobody touches upon it. Why? The reason, nobody explains that much. The reason is because Rama said that namesake. He didn't feel helpless. I surrender only unto you. It was not like that. He was thinking, this man in front of me, the Sugriva doesn't know how to surrender. I have to teach him. If I teach him these words, he will simply repeat it. So Rama tells these words and eventually in 2-3 verses, Sugriva also says the same thing. So sometimes even we don't know how to surrender to the Lord. Right? The Lord has to tell us. The Lord has to tell us, hey, you have to surrender, then only you will come to me. He teaches us through Guru, he teaches us through other devotees and like that. So Rama also had to teach him, this is how you surrender, do it. And then Sugriva, he surrenders. So he says, Valino me Mahabhaga Baya Artham Abhayam Kuru. Give me Abhayam, give me protection. He asks very nicely. He takes hints and he asks very nicely. Just like Nagapatnis in Krishna Leela. Nagapatnis, they were offering beautiful prayers to Krishna. But this Karya did not know how to offer prayers. So what did he do? He just repeated the prayers of the Nagapatnis. That's all. He just repeated and he was given Abhayam. He was given shelter. And he was let to go. Like that. Okay? Rama teaches him and he takes Abhayam. So it is half a Sharanagati quickly taken there. Then he tells a story. Sugriva, he tells a story. He tells that my brother Vali, you all know the story of Vali Sugriva. So you know that they had a long fight and Vali had a long fight and then the cave's mouth was closed and Sugriva thought Vali was dead and then he comes back and he starts ruling and then Vali eventually emerges out of the cave and he thinks that Sugriva forcibly took away the kingdom and at that time Sugriva, he says, I'm extremely sorry. My intention was not that I should forcibly take the kingdom. I really thought you died. That is the reason I took the kingdom. And now that you're back, please take back the kingdom. I don't want to be the ruler. He goes and he falls. He says, I beg you with my bowed head, with my prayerful palm folded. I fall at your feet and I fold my palms and I beg you, please give me shelter and you please take the kingdom. Please don't be angry with me. Yache tvam shirasa rajan maya bhatto ayam anjali. Jalayati iti anjali. Anjali, when we go in front of the Lord and we fold our palms, you know what happens? The Lord's heart melts. Akara is Vishnu. Okay? Akara is Vishnu. Jalayati. That means when you go and fold your palms in front of Vishnu, that Akara melts and he starts crying. So remember, this mudra is very powerful. You go and do this in front of the Lord starts weeping for you. His heart melts. Okay? So we'll see more about Anjali in a few minutes. What happens with Anjali. So, anyhow, but Vali, he doesn't give shelter to Sugriva. He kicks him out. You all know the story. So now, Sugriva surrendered to Vali. Is it a success or a failure? Failure. Yes. Why do you think it was a failure? Not the right person. Yes, not the right person. He was not the right person. You should know whom you are surrendering to. And actually, according to Sharanagati Dharma, you should give protection to a person who has fallen at your feet. If you reject that person who has fallen at your feet, it is considered a greater sin than killing a Brahmana. It's the ultimate sin. That's why they say forgiveness is a very important Vaishnava quality. When someone comes and asks sorry, sometimes your ego is so strong. I'm telling for myself too. But Sharanagati Dharma says that you should give shelter to the surrendered, otherwise it is worse than killing a Brahmana. Ramachandra, when Sugriva told his story, Ramachandra was attentively listening to his story. Sugriva said, I fell down at the feet of my brother so many times. I begged him, but still he didn't listen. So you know what Rama did? He decided he will shoot an arrow from behind a tree. So why? Not because he is afraid of Sugriva or something, nothing like that. One of the reasons why Rama shot the arrow, according to the Acharyas, is Rama decided, I will not even give him an opportunity for Sharanagati. If Rama goes and stands in front and somebody falls at his feet, Rama will protect him. So, the opportunity to surrender was rejected because after so much pleading, he refused to give Sharanagati to his brother. Okay? Like that. Acharyas, I'm just repeating whatever they have written, that's all. I have nothing here. But definitely our Acharyas have done an amazing job. And it's so nice. Every few lines there are some lessons for us. That's why you see these great speakers, many of them, they say lessons from Ramayana. That is a topic. Because every 2 verses you'll have a lesson. So, one of the Acharyas, he says, though Bali accepted the greatness of Rama, later when Bali and Rama are conversing at the deathbed of Bali, not bed, ground of Bali. That time, Rama accepts, Bali accepts, Rama, whatever you did is correct. It was right that you killed me. Towards the end, he accepts and then he dies. Bali accepted the supremacy and the greatness of Rama, but initially Sugriva doubted Rama's capability. There is a point when Rama says, I will help you. Sugriva tests Rama. He tells, why don't you shoot an arrow that passes through all these different trees and then you prove that you're capable of dealing with Rama. Though Sugriva tested Rama, still, and Bali accepted Rama's greatness, still, Sugriva was given protection and not Bali because of Sharanagati Dharma. Bali did not honor Sharanagati Dharma, while Sugriva naturally was a person capable of taking Sharanagati and giving Sharanagati.
And it would have conflicted with the first Sharanagati which was given to Sugriva.
Sugriva, perfect, yes. Everybody's so attentive, wonderful. Wonderful. It would have been a conflict. Now Sugriva does Sharanagati again. Quickly, this is the last for today. Okay, 10th one. And after this is that Ramachandra, they exchange their stories. When Sugriva and Rama are taking vows of friendship, they go around Agni to take vows of friendship. So hereafter, to help each other in the path to Krishna consciousness. Yeah. But anyway, they take all this pledge and all that, and then Sugriva tells, give me some time, it is Chaturmasya.
For initiation, that's
We
why
sit in front of
Oh,
the
no, yes, fire sacrifice, yes, very good point.
Correct, correct.
Yes, that's why initiation we have fire sacrifice. So nice, thank you, Mataji, very sweet. Yes, so now Sugriva said, Rama, we are all set, but give us 4 months, it is Chaturmasya. Chaturmasya is very difficult to treat, it's difficult to go in the forest, it's raining, it's wet, it's hard. So give us 4 months, we will definitely go in search of Sita Devi. And Rama says, good idea, I will also take rest 4 months, and he's given a place to stay. Lakshmana and Rama are staying there, but at the end of 4 months, our Sugriva has lost an enjoyment. And by now, I know this is a delicate thing for many people, Tara is now married to Sugriva. Okay, this is allowed in the Vanara Jati, it's not for human beings. Okay? So he's enjoying nicely. Tara is with Sugriva also at this point in time. And Rama is asking Lakshmana, what happened to the Sugriva? It's been 4 months and time is rolling by. I have to bring back Sita. What is this man doing? And he asks Lakshmana, and Lakshmana gets very upset. He's very, very angry. His focus is service, Kainkarya. So he gets very, very upset and he goes with great anger to the palace of Sugriva. And Hanuman gets to know about this, that Lakshmana is arriving with great anger. So Hanuman, he goes running into the room of Sugriva and Tara and he tells, wake up, wake up, wake up, Lakshmana is coming. So be prepared, be prepared. And then Sugriva, he tells Tara, because Tara was known to speak very beautifully, very softly, very nicely. She was a very nice diplomat. So Sugriva, he was totally drunk. Actually, both of them were drunk at this point in time. And it was very difficult for Sugriva to even get up and wash his face. He was in such a terrible condition. And he tells Tara, you go talk it out. And then Tara, it was very descriptive, okay? She's not even wearing proper clothes. She's trying to hold on to her skirt and her dress, and she's going drunk. And she's opening the door and she's looking at Lakshmana. Lakshmana is unable to take it. He's not even able to see her face to face. He's looking down at the feet. And he starts speaking angry words. So that is when Tara says that this is not suiting you. Please don't be so angry. We are all Vanaras. We have our own ways of living. We take a little time. We indulge in enjoyment. We are not like human beings. We don't, have 4 regulative principles. All that. So, anyway. So she requests, please, forgive us. And Sugriva, he has good intentions. He's already mobilized his forces. All the monkeys from all over the world, they are coming here. So don't think that we are not doing any activity. And finally, Hanuman, he brings Sugriva in front of Lakshmana. And Sugriva, he folds his palm. That is the entry of Sugriva. He goes folding his palm. And seeing that, Lakshmana is now, oh my God, he's folding his palms now. And he tells, Yadi kinchit atikrantam vishvasat pranayenava. If I have by any chance transgressed in my behavior, if I have transgressed the rules and regulations, if my behavior has been bad, please forgive me. I've done aparadha. I know I've done aparadha, but please forgive me. He asks this, and what do you think? This was a Sharanagati. The Acharya says the minute he did this, it became a Sharanagati. You don't even have to fall at the feet. You just do this, it is Sharanagati. You don't have to mean it also. He might have just said, okay, please forgive me, very casually. Even then it is to be forgiven only. So what was the result of doing Sharanagati to Lakshmana? Success.
Yes.
Success, yes. Lakshmana is actually an expansion of the Supreme Lord, right? He has the qualities of the Supreme Lord and the capability of the Supreme Lord. So he immediately forgives. And he says, it's okay, you're a good man. I know, it's okay. Now you mobilize your forces. He speaks very sweetly at the end. And he says, you're actually a very good friend. You've taken vows. So definitely, I know you will do it, but I just had to alert you. Okay, he speaks very nicely to Sugriva and he thanks him. And there is a small story here about folding your palms in front of the Lord. Okay, how it can steal the mind of the Lord, be it the Supreme Lord or his expansion, be it any powerful person. There is a story of the Narayanastra in the Mahabharata. Anybody has heard the story of Narayanastra? So, Narayanastra is the personal astra of the Supreme Lord Narayana. In the Mahabharata, Ashwatthama got possession of the Narayanastra because it was handed down to his father Dronacharya, correct? So he gets possession of the Narayanastra and he shoots the Narayanastra. Now this Narayanastra, when it started coming towards the Pandava army, at that time Arjuna, he looks at Krishna who's in the chariot and asks Krishna, Narayanastra is coming. You know how the soldiers, they find out what astra the opponent is shooting? By looking at their mouth movements, because you have to do japa of that mantra. So there is a difference between Shastra and Astra. Shastra means just a raw weapon, like a sword or an arrow, without life. But once you do japa of a mantra, a Shastra becomes an Astra. Okay? So this is Narayanastra. It was a mantra related to Narayan. The minute Arjuna saw that Ashwatthama is shooting Narayanastra, he looks at Narayana who's with him, Krishna who's with him. What is the counteracting weapon for this? Krishna says, fold your palms. That's the only. There is no counteracting weapon for Narayana. Who can counteract Narayana? But Narayana will also melt with one thing, fold your palms. Immediately Arjuna, he folds his palms and he gives instructions to everybody. All of you put down your weapons and fold your palms. Okay, only one person doesn't listen. Who is that? Bhima. Yes. I'm like, what? No. He's shooting an arrow. I'm very powerful. I will deal with it. And he's like, I'll go. But when he was doing that, Narayanastra was getting more and more fierce. And then Krishna and Arjuna, they said, Bhima, listen to us. This is the only solution. Put down your weapons and fold your palms. And everybody does that. Narayanastra comes, it does one pradakshina of Krishna and it goes away. It fuses out. Like sometimes in Deepavali we have these bijli and then goes bus. So Narayanastra becomes bus in front of holding palms.
Correct.
So even Narayanastra fails when one folds his palms and bows down. Then what to talk about the Supreme Lord or his expansion? Expansion Lakshmana. So this was a success after a contrasting failure. What was the failure? The same Sugriva surrendered to Vali and it was a failure. So you can see the difference in the personality and understand whom you should surrender to. That's all. From Sundarakanda we'll do in the evening. Time up, right, Mataji?
Yeah. Thank you.
What? Or if you want to do Sundarakanda, I can do.
I will take some question and answers and then keep them small.
Yeah. Question answers. Go ahead.
Any question?
Correct.
Defeating all
Yes.
these different Kshatriyas, 21 times he defeated
Yes, yes.
Kshatriyas. Bhakti, when the potency of Bhakti is infused, that person becomes Naradamani. Naradamani is a Shakti Avesh avatar, interestingly. Jnana, when there is Jnana Avesh, it is the 4 Kumaras. When it is Loka Paripalana, that is taking care of, being a king and taking care of the subjects, then I believe it was, Prithu was a Shakti Avesh.
No.
Like that. So different potencies of the Lord are infused into a person. In fact, interestingly, even Buddha and Kalki are Shakti Avesh avatars, according to Laghu Bhagavatam. Okay? So they have a task to perform and they are empowered by Vishnu. But they are not Purna Tattva. That is Purna Vishnu Tattva. But Rama, Krishna, Narasimha, they are all Vishnu Tattva themselves. And especially Krishna is complete. 64 qualities.
Yes. Means a small ounce of the Vishnu avatar was in actually Parshurama, right? But 64 ounce was in a Krishna, right? Complete avatar.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for
Yeah, thank you.
Hare Krishna.
so many intricacies of dharma you explained there in terms of Sharanagati.
And this Saranagati was, it's very actually, you can say like this, informative for us also, right? Okay. Because mostly this is mostly related to our just like a day-to-day life activity
Day-to-day
also
life,
like
yes.
that, right? Okay. So many times might be we are also doing some mistake. Our subordinate or something actually, right? Okay, we are doing mistake. If anyone is saying sorry, we need to just like forgive me, actually, right? Okay. It's not like this. No, why you did the mistake? Why you are not listening all this thing? So this was a very good actually, right? Okay, lesson altogether.
Yes, I also aspire to imbibe something, not just speak, but also imbibe. Pray for me also.
Sorry, one question I have. Like Jai Jai Suranayak, Jai Sudayak. And first when Prithvi start tumbling and all the way the demigods, devtas went to Brahmaji, and then Brahmaji said, okay, then that Vishnu, it was in Kshir Sagar,
No.
Karmadaksha Vishnu or Karmadaksha Vishnu? Who was that Vishnu? Because Karmadaksha Vishnu do not have Lakshmi ji.
Yes.
So it must be Karmadaksha Vishnu. And Karmadaksha Vishnu, demigods cannot reach there.
No, it just says Vishnu. He just comes as
Yeah, Kshirodaksha Vishnu, because that's the Paramatma.
Paramatma.
Yes.
We are
So it must
assuming
be
it is
Kshirodaksha
same.
Vishnu.
Yeah, who comes?
Yes, who comes? Then Ramachandra ji is the avatar of Kshirodaksha Vishnu or Shri Krishna directly.
Good question. So how it works, again, Srila Rupa Goswami, he mentions in the Laghu Bhagavatamrita that Kshirodakashayi Vishnu is like a doorway. That means the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Sri Krishna and Goloka Vrindavan, and he is Paripurna. He is the complete personality of Godhead. Eti Chamsakala Pumshara Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, 1328 of Srimad Bhagavatam. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead in Goloka Vrindavan. Rest assured, all the incarnations of the Lord are there in the spiritual world. Like for example, Lord Rama lives in Ayodhya, the spiritual world, Saket Dham, right? Similarly, the other incarnations of the Lord, Vamana, Narasimha, all of them, they have their spiritual planets, right? So when whichever incarnation or form, let's not say, incarnation is one who descends, that's all, okay? Whichever form of the Lord wants to incarnate, whoever it may be from the spiritual world, they come through the doorway of Vishnu. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami also clarifies this. That's why when some people say Krishna is an incarnation of Vishnu, Rama is an incarnation of Vishnu, it's not wrong. We say it is wrong. It is a point of view. They are only seeing up till there. Because when you enter the material world, imagine there is a doorway. That doorway is Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. They enter through Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. So ultimately everybody is an incarnation of Krishna.
Yes. And the next question, what I read in Ramacharita at the time of killing of Ravan, that because he is not a person that can be killed by a normal arrow or bow, right? So that the hold of the bow was saranga. And sorry if I am contradicting your verse or your whatever, but saranga was not broken at the time of when Parashurama reached at the wedding in because Pinaka was broken. Pinaka was Shivdhanush and Sharanga was I was listening constantly to you, but you said that it was written aim on that Sharanga. When Parashurama gave that Dhanush and put the asked Rama, please put the aim on that, and when Rama put on the aim of that, then said that if I am aiming it, I have to shoot this arrow.
Yes.
So Saranga was that, right? And one more question. There was because what I read, when in Aranyakanda, when Sita Mata reached the Anusuya Mata, right? She was telling. So in that there was a verse, I don't remember the exact number, but there was a verse that when Sita was telling about her age, how long she lived before leaving Ayodhya.
Yes.
And there was some, exactly, I just give you the exact word. This was you can see this verse. I am sorry, I do lots of analysis.
Of course, why not?
This was the Aranyakanda shloka. You read the description.
Aranyakanda, here Sita Vyatasi, I lived for 12 years.
Yeah. So she left, so at the time, and there is a word called there is a word called, I'm just listening that word, because as per the Sushrita Samhita, right? Sammu Pastino Yavana. Sammu Pastino Yavana means for both. It works for both.
Correct.
As per the Sushrita Samhita, right?
What should be?
Age. For marriage.
Oh, according to some Samhita, it's age for marriage, okay.
So, and this means when woman can give a birth and man is now completed his first is the brahmacharya ashram,
Mhm.
and then only he can marry. So Ram cannot marry at before 25, right?
No, he was married when he was 12 years old, as per Valmiki.
No, there was because I just wanted to let you know. I have to open that Ramayana, and in that she was telling that no, I was 16 and she was some. He
Correct,
was,
when they went to the forest, correct. They stayed for 12 years after
no,
marriage.
basically why I am telling is because their next birth, after their Janeu Sanskar, they got their new birth, right?
Correct.
So now next 17 years, his Janeu Sanskar was done at age of 12.
Correct. No. Janeya Sanskar was done at age of 7, according to
7.
Valmiki.
Okay, age of 7. Then next 17 years, if you call, then Janeu
So they got-
Sanskar, then they went to the ashram of Vashishta,
Right.
right? Now then on Vashishta ashram, they lived for 6 to 7 years. So now again it's 7 plus 7, 14. Then next 2 years, he killed the Swahu Barich and all those things when who came? Sorry. Yes, Tarka and all. And then after that, they went to Janak, Raja Janak, right? Videha Raj Janak to marry Mata Sita, right? So I was a little bit confused with the ages. Still, I am still a bit confused.
I can give you references if it
Yes.
helps, okay? From Valmiki Ramayana, because Sita herself, like you mentioned, she tells Ravana her history also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Satyavati, right? I know.
She tells,
Yes,
right?
so
And that
Satyavati.
time also she mentions
Yeah.
age. Then the age of Rama is also mentioned in multiple places where the marriage happens itself. Okay? The age of Rama. Sita was 6 years old, that is also mentioned. And Rama was 12. Yes, they are allowed to stay together and unite only after a particular age, after they come to age. Okay? But Sita Devi was 6 years old, Rama was 12 years old. 12 years he stays in Ayodhya. At the age of 24, he goes to the forest. Sita is 18, like that verse says. When she was 18, she goes to the forest.
Okay, maybe, yeah, you're right, but still I am little because there is a Ehibati Gauri Asri Sunisi Saita here Harshit Ali Tulsi Bhavani Puji.
And-
Ye jo this was written in Tulsi Ramayana, right? It was done when Mata Sita saw
Right.
Rama that I want to marry. So
Okay.
the Gauri yani Ma Parvati said you were worshipping Ma Parvati in a Vatika. Bhati Gauri Asis Sunisi Saita he Harshit Ali Tulsi Bhavani Puji Puni Mudit Mandir Chali. And after their flower is fallen from the garland of Ma Gauri and Ma Sita got happy that okay, now she granted me the boon and now I am going to marry the person I wanted. So at the age of 6 she must be chanted this verse, right?
When she got married, yeah, okay.
In that Vatika, Pushpa Vatika. Right?
Okay.
But still I am little bit Tulsi Ramayana is saying something else and that's the reason.
There are differences,
Correct,
Prabhu.
yeah.
Not only in the age, there are differences in multiple places between the two
Or
Ramayanas.
Tattariya Ramayana also saying something different.
Valmiki is Moola Ramayana.
Yeah.
Okay. From there are multiple renditions of Ramayana. So, like for example, this incident of she praying to Mother Gauri,
Yeah.
that incident itself will not be there in the Valmiki Ramayana. It's not there. So there are many incidences. Like for
So what-
example, I've heard stories where Guha had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gora.
Yeah, he is not there in Valmiki Ramayana.
Yeah.
So there are many differences between the two Ramayanas. So as per Valmiki, 6 years, then they stay 12 years in Ayodhya. Rama is 24, Sita is 18, they go to forest. And in one place, like you mentioned, this difference in calculation will show up even in Valmiki Ramayana. And there the commentators say because the time taken was from the time of second birth, which was the Janeu Sanskar.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
the reason.
you are right. And that is one difference in calculation within the Valmiki Ramayana itself, as the commentators
That was-
mentioned that.
yes.
Yeah, Kausalya, I think, says this to Rama.
Yeah.
She says, "This is your age. How can you go?" She
Yeah.
quotes a much lesser,
Yes.
much different age.
Much different.
When she's telling her son, "Why are you going to the forest?"
Yes.
That time she quotes a different age, and the commentator there says it is because it is calculated from
The
Janeu
second age. Yes.
Perfect. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks.
Syat sat agrahitam. And one of you can read English.
Ram do not desert anyone who arrives with a friendly appearance, even if he has a defect.
So what did he say? Friendly? He's not friendly. He's acting like as if he's friendly. Even if he has dosha, okay, dosho api. Even if he's having these defects, he's got malice in the heart. his intention is not to surrender. Externally, I will come and surrender. Rama will accept. We may not. We are hopeless. Rama will accept. He must be accepted, whoever he may be. This is Rama's also his feeling. Okay, he's expressing it openly. Even if he comes with defect, even if he's just acting like he's a friend and he comes and he surrenders, even then it is Rama's opinion that he should be accepted. And if we can follow it, it's great. He should be accepted. You know, okay, fine, but still accept. Okay? And he's very bad or not bad. He's good, bad, nothing matters. Why? Because one set of all the Vanaras, in fact, except Hanuman, they all decided this man is bad, don't accept him, Rama. Especially Sugriva was telling, he's wrong. He's coming with a malicious intention. His real intention is not surrender. He's going to trick you. He's going to infiltrate into our army and get to know our strength and weaknesses, and he will fight against us. Don't accept him. Sugriva and all the other Vanaras, they said. Hanuman said, no, he's a very good man. I know face reading. I see him. His intentions are clear. He's not stammering. He gives a big list why Rama should accept. Rama didn't like both the answers. Everyone will say he liked what Hanuman said. He didn't even like what Hanuman said. He said, why are you telling he's good, so I should accept? Whether he is good or bad, I will accept. That is the Supreme Lord. And he says this, he says he should be accepted. That is his opinion. Okay?
So mercifully he'll accept.
Yeah,
What should
No,
we
no,
do?
I think so. There is a question here, Mataji.
Yes,
If we read the translation, actually, even if he is bad, he is incapable of doing anything
Correct.
little harm to me.
Like he
Of
can't do
course,
it.
nobody can do any harm to Ram.
Yes.
But then, what about the humans here?
Okay, accept. Okay, accept going to fall into a pit. So you should also be like Ram, capable of standing up for yourself.
Or I would say in that case you would feel how surrendered are you to Krishna that he will anyway take care of you. That's your surrender.
Like Ambarish Maharaj, very good answer. Ambarish Maharaj, when Durvasa Muni created a fiery demon by taking off his hair, he created a fiery demon. Ambarish Maharaj could have done 3 things, my Guru Maharaj says. One, he could have ran away. Okay, that's the first thing we will do. We'll run away from there. Second, he is also a great Rajarishi. He could have counteracted it and he could have fought. Third, he could have blamed Krishna, which 99% of us do. Okay? Problem, blames Krishna. He could have done 3 things. He didn't do all these 3 things. Like Mataji said,
Hold.
that's it. Said, okay, whatever it may be, Krishna takes care. And Krishna sent the Sudarshan Chakra. Beautiful Sharanagati that was.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Balaji, but still, like yesterday, our Chaitanya Nitai, all means Nityananda and Gauranga, both are very merciful. So as per their, all those scriptures, whatever yesterday was a very beautiful class. But now if you see that like Jadhai Madhai was very bad, right? But they did all sorts of mischievous things and they just folded with folded hands. So at the time of folded hand, their heart was clear. At that, is it like that or not?
So here, analysis is that these people were devotees. Even Vibhishan was a great devotee. His heart was already cleared.
Yeah.
Yes. The potency of the Lord is such that that person becomes purified immediately. Like, just think about us. When we go to the temple and we are in front of the deities, do we have malicious intentions? Even if I'm very bad person, okay, I may have so many negative qualities. But when you're standing in front of the deities, you feel guilty if a negativity comes into your heart. Why is that? That is the potency of the Lord. He's so merciful that he can purify us of any condition.
So one, I was listening one lecture about Bhishma, Pitama and Krishna Samvad, discussion between. So the same way, like Dhritarashtra asked Krishna, why it happened to me? I am blind. I am good for nothing to fight or to do anything, but still my 100 sons lost and so he just took it to 101, but 101 minus 1. And then he said that you blinded the Hans